welcome to another Games in Dev. I'm your host, 3D Flight Dreams, and today we're going to talk about landing gear. Now, for all those people who didn't follow the last tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make the memory points if you don't have existing plane. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the left view, and I've already created them, but I'll show you how to do it. Basically, here we got 2 points, and I just moved out what was in there already because I don't want to rename the tire or anything. But in this case, to create a memory point, is you got these 2 right here for the flaps. So let's go here where I created these points. Now, what are these points? Well, let's go ahead and copy one of the names because we need the names right or it won't work. So all you do is you go here to helpers, and then you just click and you get like a little plus, and you want to just go up here, or you can go up to the outliner and rename it and just go ahead and put right landing gear. And what you want to do is you want to duplicate this. So you duplicate, clone, make a copy, and then you put left. Bam, left landing gear. So now that you got left and right landing gear, let's go ahead to the top view and move the left side to the left side. So let's go ahead and line this up, move the memory point here. And then what I tell you about horizontal, so it's right here. And you might want to put it, because this is the center of the landing gear. And then we want to go to right and do the same thing. Now these are not tied into anything, because if you move these, you go to left view really quick. Let's grab both left and right, and we'll say left and right, and we'll say right here. And then we'll align these, to each other. Let's see. It's not going to do it. It's just going to snap. It's so small, increment. It's fine. Just grab one of them and move it. Okay. So now that we have these both aligned, now if you move them, wait a second, we have a problem. It's not attached. So what I did is I put these in a temporary holder. So what you want to do is you want to find your SK tire, which is this. See, it's not hooked up to anything, and that's a problem. So let's go ahead to the tire, and in this case, we'll just detach this, and we'll name it detach, and then we'll call this X0 tire. And I don't think it matters, but I believe this is left. And then we'll go ahead and drag the tire right here, tire, and then we'll find this memory point, which this is messed up, so we got to rename this anyhow because it's not straight. So let's go ahead and rename, delete this, and we'll go ahead and create another memory point because this is not right. There, now it's straight. So then go ahead and rename this tire, and that's right tire, so that's right. Okay. We'll put it in the center of the tire. Let's go here. Bam. Okay. Now we want the left tire, which I believe is right here. And we'll just move that in place. Right there. So now if we look in the left view, we should have the tires lined up. No. There we go. And I'm just moving the proxies right now, or the dummy points. So we got 1 tire, 2 tire. There we go. So once again, you see that? We have a problem. So let's go ahead and just take the name. Skeleton tire left. Delete it. And like I said, you can find all these on the SDK aircraft. You can delete it completely and just keep the memory points. Because the knowledge I'm giving you, you should be able to create stuff from scratch. And I'm just aligning these really quick to the center of the object. So we're going to do left landing gear. No, we're going to do this tire and put it dead center. And then we'll do this, select this one. We just want the helpers. There we go. Now you have those. So this is the right side, which is right, yeah. and this is the left side. So let's look at the tire left. So let's see, where is SKL tire left? That's that one. And I believe I didn't create a new one, or did I? Let's do star. So if you want to find some in Max, you can just do star SKL. Let's see if we can find tire right. Yeah, I'm not seeing a left tire. So let's go ahead and grab this one. And I'll do this. So we'll select the left side. And then we'll go ahead and we'll drag. Well, this is right here, so wait, let's see. I think maybe, let's just go to helpers. This is, I'm selecting Geo, it's driving me nuts. Tire right. Tire right. Tire, where is this? Tire left. There we go, we already had a point. So we'll do this, tire left, dead center, and tire right. Okay, now that we got those, let's go ahead and move the tire into the thing. So let's go ahead, this is the SKL of the tire. So we'll clear our star, whatever we're looking for, and we'll make sure, first of all, we'll go to top view. So VT. And then we'll find the tire. So there's tire 1. Okay, tire 1. Right tire, yep. Cool. And I'm holding the middle mouse button and I'm scrolling over. So where's our left tire? There's left. Left is dead center, see? So we need to move that to, well, we want to keep it on the same plane because it's already lined up to the tire. We just want to center that in the middle. Cool. Now, what you want to do is you want to grab the left tire and then you want to drop this into the point. So you have your landing gear, right? But you have your tire. So let's go ahead and go back to geometry only, and we'll select left tire. Well, we see left tire right here, so we'll drag it in. So now, if you have the left tire, when you have an animation of the tire moving, there you go. So what we want to do is just go to the, sorry, I just hit stuff. Let's go back to all, and we'll select this one, right tire, and then we'll find the right tire here, which is not right, that's left for some reason. So we'll just name this right. Okay, and then we'll unparent this, unlink, and then we're going to find that. So tire right, tire right. Cool. So what's this one? What is this? 2 right tires apparently. Guess I just named it. Okay, just put tire right. So this is the correct one. We want capital. Get what they call that in coding, but it's a standard. And you want to move this into tire right. There you go. So now when you rotate this, there you go. So now we have that. So go ahead and save your work. Okay, so now if we look at these left landing gear, these are by itself. We want to find both left landing gear, which will be unhooked, and we don't want the door because don't need the door. Left landing gear, right? So we're gonna unlink this, or if it's just in your outliner, just find it, and then we want left here. So select left. We have to, okay, so we have to unhook this one because I cloned it. Sorry about that. I'm just gonna go back to elemental geo here. Geometry, and we're gonna detach that, and I'm gonna make that x0 landing gear, and oops. Like I said, we want capital letters. This is how it recognizes it. If you do it wrong, it won't recognize it. Right. Okay. Now let's see. There, we got right. So now we know this is the right side. So what we can do is we can center this to pivot for now. Then we'll go back to this one and we'll center this to pivot. And for some reason, there we go. Cool. And I'm just doing affected by pivot. So basically now what we're going to do is we're going to go left side and right side. So we're going to move the tire right landing gear, SKL, into landing gear right. Like so. So now if we move this memory point, nothing happens because that's the left side. But if we move this one, nothing happens because that's the right. So something's mislabeled again. Let's see. Left side. Oh, I see. This is right. This is left one. It's important about labeling. If you get confused, you're going to get messed up. Right. So now we have to find that landing gear again. So let's do the right side. We got right landing gear. Okay. So we want to move that into SKL right landing gear. So we grab this SKL right landing gear, right? Cool. And you can tell because when you move this, bam. So you want to also parent this over here. Select this, right? And you got left, so we'll change the name back to left. And then we're going to select the landing gear, and we're going to move this tire, SKL, and this landing gear together. Are they separated? I don't know. Let's see. I don't think so. Yeah, we have to separate that tire. So let's just separate this tire. So this should be detached. Edit geometry, detach. And this one will be X0 because we're still on LOD1 or 0 in this case. Tire left. Okay. Tire left. So now you've got this as landing gear left, and then you have tire left. It goes into landing gear, right? But then all those go into the SKL. So let's find the SKL, and let's find landing gear left, and put them in the SKL landing gear left. So now if we click the little proxy, we've got moving landing gear. So we want to also make sure the tire SKL is in there. So let's go landing gear left, and we'll say landing gear left, and then we have landing gear. So this will go above that. So what we'll do is we'll put the tire in the SKL, and there you go. So now they're separate. Now you can move this separate, and that one's that. So all I did was tie the SKL landing gear 0, X0 landing gear left into SKL landing gear, and then I put the tire into SKL tire because it needs a memory point, and then put X0 tire left into the SKL. If that makes sense. You can see right here. I'll just pause it. See. Okay, so this is all parented together. So now that we have this both parented, the crazy stuff is out of the way. So let's go ahead and delete these extra points I had. And these are probably the flaps. And these aren't being used, I don't think. No. So we'll probably delete the flaps too because they're probably already goofed up. And this is just the way it is. So let's just go ahead. In this case, we'll unlink. And all I'm unlinking them is from the SKL because I'm going to have to redo the point from the top view. So we'll just unlink. Okay, and then we'll copy the name, right? And we'll delete this left, and we'll delete after we unlink it right. So click on this and right. Okay, so in this case, we're just gonna go do these really quick. Sorry, I don't mean to skip ahead. We're just gonna click here, and we'll call this, and we'll click here, call this left. Okay, and then we'll call this right, and there we go. So those are the flaps now. So let's go ahead to the landing gear. So if we go to our left view and look now, we have our landing gear. Now we also have our front doors, but I have those separate right now. They're not hooked up, and I'll show you once we get into the doors. So let's animate the back landing gear. So if we select one of our memory points, our proxies, we want to animate that. So if we look on our timeline, we look down here with the timeline. You want to grab this first because this is a new memory point. If you take it from the aircraft, this will already be tied in. If not, go to Babylon, go to animation groups. And now this is the right tire. So we want to find right landing gear right here to 201. Okay, so we can say add to viewport. Bam, there it is, because SKL landing gear right is what we want, and hit confirm. Good. No, don't do it. Computer was like doing something. Okay, now let's go to right landing gear. Oh, looks like right landing gear is set up, but if it wasn't, same thing. You would just go ahead and select right landing gear, hit add to viewport, and confirm. Same thing. So it was already set up. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and animate. So really quick, what that 200 means is what frame. So this is going to 200 here, right? I don't think we need it that high, so we can say, I don't know, 100, confirm. Well, that's right landing gear, left landing gear, 100, confirm. Don't need it that high. Okay. Now let's animate. So if I select the right side, right, and I'll do this side, and then I'll fast forward the other one. But if you hit auto key, and you go ahead and you just set a key here by moving this very slightly, and then it sets a key. Oops, sorry, auto key. There we go. Let's set a key. There we go. Oh, it's a little delayed. Weird. It's the same key, so we'll just set it like that. There we go. Nope. What's going on? Every time I record it. There it is. Just delayed, I guess. I don't know. Let's go to 30, right? And I'll hold the middle mouse button and zoom out. And we'll rotate this up like this. 30. And then we'll say 60. Fold in 27 degrees. Okay, so we know that's it. So let's keep track of these measurements. Let's go back. So we already set the key before the animation, right? So let's go to 30, and we have auto key on. Go ahead and drag this up, and we've drug it to 9350, okay? And then we want to go to 60 and drag this in 3021. That's fine. Okay, now I'll hit auto key off. So now if you scroll, you have an animation. So now let's do this with the same thing. Oh, well, I see this is already hooked up, but I'll just unhook this as we go. Let me just start the other side. So we got the left side animated. I mean the right side, so we want to do the left side. So let's go ahead and select this. That's not the one we want. Cool. Just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to do the same thing. We want to hit auto key. Go ahead, slide this around. To create a key, which it is not creating a key. Why? I don't know. Auto key. If it has a hard time creating a key, just go ahead and do something like that, and then just drag it over, and then there we go. So now we want to go 30, right? And we want to go up, what is it, 93 or something like that? Somewhere around there, yeah. Then we want to go 60. I believe I said 30 something. 30, 78. And there we go. Should be in the aircraft. Well, they're kind of not in the aircraft, but you know, that's alright. We can adjust this last frame on this one and making it go up, like so. And then we'll just turn off the auto key. We'll go back to the other side. We'll hit the memory point. Go back to auto key and move that up. There we go. Turn that off, and there we go. So now, if you scroll through the timeline, you got landing gear that folds up. Pretty neat, huh? Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to do the front landing gear. So go back to 0 and check our thing. So we want to unhook this. If you didn't, then you would already have this, but in this case we don't have this right now because let's just say we're starting from scratch. So you've got this, and this one's called SKL landing gear front. And you need these names correct, or when you create the animation on the Babylon group, it won't know what the heck you're talking about. So this should be dead center. If not, let's go to the bottom view and center it. Cool. VL back. Okay, so now we got this point right here. SKL steering. I'm guessing this is steering for later on. It's a separate steering piece. We can see what this is. This price, the front landing gear. Let's see. That's just everything tied into landing gear front. That's point. So yeah, we want to rename this 11. We'll just rename this one SKL landing gear front. Okay. Now you want to parent all this stuff. Oh, oops. Sorry. SKL. SKL means skeleton. So now you want to parent all this stuff inside SKL. So you just want to go ahead and move it, and there you go. So now you can tell if everything's attached because it moves at one time. Pretty cool, huh? Then you got this memory point right here that's not attached because it's outside. So you can go ahead and put this in. See, it's really hard to find it once it runs away. Front, there it is. You can go ahead and drag this in the front. And then this is tied into, well, I don't, if it actually had a turn, oh, yeah, it does have a turning ring. So let's go ahead and drag this down. And then go ahead and find this part, steering wheel front. And then let's put that in steering. And then go ahead and rename this one to front landing gear. There you go. So now that's part of the steering assembly. I don't know how this works, but I mean, I guess if the plane was going to steer, you know, something like that. But I didn't look into that, so that's more advanced. I mean, I can show you, unlink it really quick. Ooh, unlink, and then just go ahead and drag this like so. It's not unlinked. Of course it's not. Front steering, you want to drag this memory point in the center. And then that's SKL, and then you want to find front steering. That's it. You want to center this pivot to center object. Then you want to drag this back into SKL steering. And you want to select this, and you want SKL steering to be in SKL landing gear front. So now you have this word steering assembly, which technically this tire should be in the steering assembly too. So if we grab this front tire, it's already, you know, part of a group, do like that. Cool. So now if we steer this, the tire steers. Cool. All right. We're getting like really advanced here. We're just concentrating on landing gears. So let's get on the landing gear. And we got this. Cool. So let's go ahead and animate this. This is SKL door. We don't need that right now. And we got this little assembly, which I believe they're tied into the geo. Let's see. It might not be. No, they are. Cool. Yeah, right on. Okay, so we do the same thing. We go ahead and apply auto key, and then we move this a little. If it doesn't work, just go ahead and move it like that, and then delete the key, because you're not moving anything, you're just kind of going from a point. Then you gotta go 30, and it should be up, and 60 should be completely up like that, I guess. So then we check this out. Cool. All right, now that you got that, go ahead and save. Let's go check out these doors. So you have SKL door, SKL left. Oh wait, we want to make sure. So if you right click on the SKL landing gear front and go to valve line group, you want to make sure. See, it's not tied up. So I know this is centered landing gear, and if you take the SKL aircraft or SDK aircraft, sorry, and hit, you know, you'll see it. So C gear, we want add to viewport, confirm. Now we confirm. Don't worry about the other stuff's not showing. Not important. As long as this is animated, everything else will move with it. So, cool. All right, now that's good. Let's go ahead and take the doors and go ahead and rotate this horizontal with the door. And we want to try to tie this to a point where we can get like a good rotation out of it. So let's try there. All right, and we're gonna go to the front view. And we're going to get lost in this case, and we're going to drag this over here because that's the door, but you can't see. Go to bottom view and put it on the door. Cool. Now let's find the door model. So actually, let's do this all at one time. Let's go ahead and grab this one and align this to this above you. Like so. Close enough. And move that above the door. Right? And then go to left view and go ahead and align this with the other one. And all I'm doing is playing with the SKL door right and SKL door left. And that's these landing doors in the front. Could have put some in the back, but you know, it didn't. Okay, so this is SKL door right. There's a 1 in there for some reason. Okay, so now you want to find landing door left. So they're both landing door left because I duplicated it to fix this. So let's just go ahead and collapse that. And you want to separate all this geo as detach. And you want to detach it as X0 landing door with the phonetics or whatever it is. Front. Right. See, almost missed the capital there. Right. Okay, cool. So now we have left and right. So if you select this door, right, X0, left. Cool. Now you want to drag this door into SKL door right. So let's go ahead, front landing door left, and then drag this one, SKL front door right, into SKL door right. Cool. Now you know they're working if you go ahead and you move this, so you get doors are rotating. Oh, you see that? The door's rotating the wrong side. So something got mixed up. So we have to unlink this. This should be left. And that's why you always check. And this one's right. So that's right. That's not right. That should be left. Yeah, it's the left side of the aircraft. Left one. Right. Cool. And then we know this landing door is left side, so it goes in the left side. And then we'll change this to left. Cool. And SK door right should have the SK door right. Okay. And no capital, which is stupid. There we go. Then we'll move that into the SK door right, which is right here. Cool. Now let's go to our overall view and see where these are. Okay, they're all on the X0. Cool. What's this? What is this? I have no clue, just an empty object. Cool. Okay, so now you got all your stuff where you need it. You're good to go. So, we got fins, we got that, and if we look, we're good. So if we actually have SKL, let's see, SKL parts outside, then we need to move those into SKL. Fins, SKL. Done. It's easier that way to keep things organized. Okay, cool. That's just, it will still work, but you want to try to organize this so you don't need the skeleton. You only need it at 0. You don't need it if you're doing like 4 or 3, because you're not going to animate stuff because it just wastes the budget of the game. Anyways, moving on. Let's go ahead and go to auto key, go to, I believe 30 it was, and go ahead and wait for my computer to freak out every time I react, and go ahead and fold this up, like so. It's not supposed to look perfect, but whatever. So, cool. And then go ahead 60, and I don't know, you can just, let's see, I can just move that in. Yeah. It's fine. Just go at 30 and 60 will just do nothing. Just maybe make the doors rattle, whatever. Okay, I'll go at 30 again. Go back. Auto key. 30. Close the doors. Like so. 60, make the doors rattle. And there we go. So now let's go to the bottom view and just rotate these straight. Should have checked that first, but there we go. All right, so we got some mistiming here. Let's see. Apparently this not rotated right. I don't know why. There we go. Cool. All right. So now we want to try to rotate that. Cool. Nice. Cool. All right. So now what we want to try to do is, and I mean, you could go into this more if you want and make the wheel The wheel's not going to disappear because the door's right there, but if you went here and did an insert and just kind of extruded that in, something like that, and then sits in there. And what you could do is you could go to bottom view and take these, since you already have the animation, move the points. This wheel's pretty big. It's under there. You would have to make the doors bigger, but we'll do this just in case, just like this. So then, so we have a delay on these doors. So what we can do is we can fix the wheel. So let's go ahead to the wheel. And like I said, you can experiment any way you want. So let's see, the doors are already shutting, so we want to speed up this wheel. Move that to 25, and I just moved the keyframe. Here. So let's see. There you go. Cool. So now you have your example of, landing gear stuff. And then this is very important when you have models, is you want to go ahead and check your models and reduce where you can. Like here I was just rushing through to get some ready for the tutorial, but here I would just go here, 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 and just kind of delete these edges. And if you have any smoothing problem, you can just detach, right, and then click again, right, select element mode, and then you can just smooth, auto smooth, and there you go. So then in this case, I want to, before I attach it again, which is probably the camera, go here and then grow the selection, and there you go. So now just crash model that inside. Done. Cool. So we know the camera base doesn't move. So select the base of the camera and select here. And why did it disappear? Let's see, because this is not an X0 object. We'll just call it an antenna then. I think that's antenna, right? Antenna? Yeah, I think so. Or actually, I'm just going to erase this. Let's call it ant. And then we're going to select this object, and we're going to just attach it to this object. There we go. Cool. Now you have that, we're good to go. So there's our landing gear. So now we have to do the flaps. So to do the flaps, go back to 0, move them into place. So we got flap left, flap right, and like I said, you can make anything like a box, design it, model it, and call it flap left. Doesn't matter. I'm just using existing ones, but you can shape this however you want. I'm just using, it's good to get in the habit of using existing geo if you have it, because it makes it easier work. You'll learn that along the way of doing your 3D modeling career. But if you have existing geo, it's so much better. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this, and I'm going to just use one. Remember the names, flat right, flat left. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to go to vertex mode and drag that up. Drag this in. So move it up. Put this down. Move it in like that. And then we'll go top view. I'm going to move this in. Move this down. Cool. Now we can drag this in like this. Cool. But I think it actually goes in like that. So anyways, so now that you have that, go ahead and center this to object. Go ahead and go into pivot mode and move this to the center of the plane right here. Okay. And then go ahead and reset X form. Reset, select it. Collapse this. Yes. And then you want to go ahead and symmetrical, or symmetry as they call it. So there you go. Now you have a clone, but you got to remember one's left and one needs to be right. So you want to take this name, you want to take this object, and you want to detach it. You want to say right. And I'm just showing you the technique. So now you have two separate objects. So now you want to go back to those objects and you want to see they're probably moving at the same time, so the flaps could be the same technically, but there is a flap left and flap right, even though they do move at the same time, so it wouldn't really matter. I guess if one malfunctions, I don't know. But in real life, they both move at the same time. But anyways, so we have flap right, right, flap left. So what do we have now? So we have 2 memory points, and all I did was the same thing as before. Create 2 memory points, line them up horizontal, and then name them the correct name. So they're flap right. So we want to move this in SKA skeleton into the group, because we're not in hierarchy mode, we're in just regular object mode. And then we want to go ahead and bring this one down, like so. And we want to move this one horizontally aligned as well. So then go ahead and move that one into SKL. And it's just good housekeeping. Okay, now let's go to back view and go straight down, right? And then go straight down again. There we go, we're lined up with the flap. Dead center and flat. Okay, cool. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure those memory points are flush with here, because it's rotating from here. So we want to go here, and we want to make sure this is as close as it can to the edge of the wing. Kind of like the ailerons. Okay? Good. Now let's go ahead and drag parent the flaps to the object. So grab flap 0. So we want to go to hierarchy mode here. You can tell at the bottom. We go to flap, left flap, right flap. Oh, did I flip it again? Yeah, I flipped it again. We call this right 1. That happens a lot. That's why you check. Long days, doing this late at night, you know how it goes. Okay, so left, right. Cool. Now we have our right flap. Go ahead, drag it in our right skeleton flap, and go ahead and drag our left flap geo into our left flap skeleton. Done. So now we have to animate the flaps. We can do that by hitting Auto key and go into 10. And we can say down like that and just drag that one over it. And then we can say to 20. So that one's like that. Oh, we didn't want to move it. We want to move it straight. So that's straight right there. Here, let's restart. So we want to keep that like that. So Auto key, and we want to just move that a little down. There we go. Then we want to go to 30 and drag it down a little. And then 40, drag it down a little. And like I said, the wheels go through the wings, but it's just an example of the landing gear. I mean, I'm doing this really quick. If I took the time precision, it'd be like 5 hours, 6 hours, and you know, you wouldn't have learned anything. You'd be looking at me doing custom animations that take forever. Anyways, let's do the same thing. So we have this memorized. $30 to $40. So we want to go 30 to 40. So if we rotate down, so I've got to keep track. It's my fault. So we'll go ahead and select this geo, or I mean this memory point, like so, and we'll go to 0, and then we'll go to 30, and then we'll say auto key, and then we'll just drag this down 1255, okay? And then 40, 15. I think that's right. Cool. Okay, so now we'll go back here. We'll go to auto key. Go a little ahead. Just move it a tad bit. You don't have to move it much. And just overwrite this. Okay, now go to 30 and go down 12. 12 and go to 40 and go down 15. There we go. Cool. So now let's see how it looks. Go to reload and we'll see. Beautiful. Flaps are moving. Cool. So now they're not actually hooked up. So if we go into the right click and go to Babylon animation group, you should see flaps. Flat percentage. Now there is no left flap, right flap. There it is right there. So we put 40. I mean, you can put it however high you want. Technically it's supposed to be 4, but I put it 40 in this case, so it's gonna be... Physics will probably already kick in. So anyways, select left flap, click add to viewport, confirm. That's it. And then you're good. Now go here. So now let me boot up Flight Simulator. Cool. So now we have our right flap, and then we want to go to Babylon Animation Group, and then we want to go right flap, flat percentage, and we want to set that for 40. Technically that's too much, but yeah, it's all right. Confirm, add to viewport, confirm, good. So now we have those all set into the geo. And then what do we have here? We have a strobe. So these are actually inherited. So these are green nav lights. So you can have one of these tubes. Remember how I said use geo? So I know these go by a visual key. So what we'll do is we'll go here and we'll do this. Oops. And you also have to line up the other, but that's a different tutorial. I'm just showing you this really quick. And yeah, we'll do like that. And then we'll select that one. Drag it over. And we'll element clone it for now. Copy the name. Detach it, because I already know what the name should be. There's only navigation red and green. Be cool if there was yellow or anything, but no, there's not. I'm sure I could probably find something in the files for like trucks and stuff, but nope. The old Flight Simulator allow you to do user lights and change stuff, but now everything's like controlled by this weird visual. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on that when I figure it out. But, so right now we got red. So where's this one? Let's see this one. Oh, it's over there. You don't need that one. Okay, then we got a strobe. Strobe left and right. Just take this little bulb, drag it, put it here. There you go. And then we could just drag that, hold shift, clone, copy, and this would be right. already controlled by the materials, but I already 180. There we go. Cool. Cool, now you have strobes. Alright, now what is all this garbage? Okay, we'll just get rid of that. This is all attached still. Delete the geo. Select that. Delete the geo. And that's a link. Taxi link. Taxi link can go. Let's see. Taxi link can go right here. Okay, rotate it in. Sorry, I'm just. Okay, cool. And then taxi light can go into SKL landing gear front. Cool. So now everything's in there. Cool. All right. Cool. We got that. Now let's go ahead and export. Flight Simulator is open. Yep, Flight Simulator is open. So let's go to really quick to Babylon, File Exporter, and then go ahead and hit My Drone Package. And then we have this EGLTF. Basically, it's just an automatic exporter for now, so we'll just use that. So we'll hit that really quick. I'm going to take this off the screen. And we'll select 0. Right here, we'll select a 0. And we'll export that. Okay. Of course it does that every single time. Then we'll select 1. Let me this pathway here. Okay, we're good to go. All right, so now what we're gonna do is gonna go back to Flight Simulator. We're gonna go open, recent project, and we're gonna do not delete. We're going to, where was that? Where was it? My company, package sources, my drone. My drone. So it's going to be my drone project. Cool. Now what we're going to do is going to wait for it to pop up. There it is. Okay. And we can actually call it, we're getting somewhere now, my drone. Okay. And then we'll just say update package name. And we'll say build. Would you like to save comment? Yes. Wait for it. Partial build, nothing to do. Cool. So it did it. We're going to change name. And there it is. Aha! So now if we go to record, you lost your drone. And depart and fly. And there we go. We got our little strobes. Of course, we have our other lights, which I'll show you in another tutorial how to line those up. And then we have our ranges. And there we go. And our flaps, of course. So if we hit 5, there we go. F8. So yeah, that's about does it. I don't know why it always puts me over here. So we'll just land. Like I said, the contact down. Now, like I said, this is just um, the landing gear. It's going to contact the ground and it's going to go through it. But we'll teach you in the next lesson, like I said, materials, or more likely I'll probably do contacts. They just take a lander, so, and flaps. So yeah, we'll kind of cover a little bit of physics and contacts and stuff like that before we get into probably the next picture. Anyways, I'm 3D Flight Dreams, and peace and love. Thanks for tuning in. All right.